In Burkina Faso's Sahel region, Sabiri Kebre waits for rain. It's not a new story in this semi-arid part of West Africa, often plagued by drought. But according to local farmers here, weather patterns are changing.
The weather is changing and we're worried. Every day we must think about how we will survive. It affects our lives. It affects the environment. Trees are disappearing and there's a loss of soil fertility, so it's a big problem.
And scientists predict it will only get worse. Not only will farmers have to grow their sorghum and millet with less rainfall, but they'll also have to deal with greater variability of water flow.
Greater variability means that you might get 20-25% of the entire annual rainfall in one afternoon. So everything that you've planted is washed away.
With just one growing season and little more than 500 millimeters of rainfall per year, changes like this can spell disaster, as Kebre knows from experience.
10 years ago, there was drought and serious famine. I had to sell everything I had, including my donkey cart, in order to buy food for the family.
To help farmers like Kebre adapt to climate changes, the UN's International Fund for Agricultural Development, or IFAD, has supported a number of projects that work together with farmers to develop soil and water retention techniques, like these half-moon-shaped pits. When the rain comes, they hold moisture more efficiently, and the manure added to the bottom increases soil fertility.
The real impact has been in the moisture retained in the soil, which means we are able to grow more crops. With the increased production, we are much more food self-sufficient.
Digging circular planting pits and building stone walls that prevent water runoff are part of the strategy. But the biggest payoff may come from planting trees. Tossing the cuttings from young bagana trees over a field improves the soil's nutrients for growing crops. But these trees also provide food for animals and people. Even more importantly, a compound released by leaves into the atmosphere actually stimulates the formation of clouds and rainfall. IFAD says up to 300,000 hectares of land in Burkina Faso have been recovered using these techniques, which is not only helping farmers adapt to climate changes, but increase their harvests.
On average, the harvest was 300-400 kilograms per hectare, or 600 kilograms at best. Today, with these techniques, production has been raised to 1,400 and 1,500 kilograms per hectare. So you see the difference. It's more than doubled.
From one of the few high spots near the town of Yako, it's evident what kind of impact farmers are having on greening the landscape. Yet farmers and scientists agree there's no room for complacency. It's predicted rainfall here will continue to decrease from 500 to around 310 millimeters per year. And as it does, these techniques will become even more crucial, says IFAD's Cristiana Sparacino.
Without these techniques, we wouldn't be able to harvest the Sahel, and we wouldn't be able to produce enough to eat for the farmers and for the populations of Burkina Faso. And this is the way we need to go if we want to have self-sufficiency in agriculture production in the countries of the Sahel.
In the meantime, when the rain finally comes this year, farmers like Kebre will be ready.